Hello everyone, this is Isabel. I'm at ITW 2026 and today I'm not only joined by one but two industry experts. On my right, I've got Fergus Innes, the CEO of Crosslake Fibre, and on my left, I've got Martin Reilly, the Director of Global MOFN at Ciena. Guys, welcome to my HOTShot.
Thanks, Isabel, for having us. Very excited for the session today.
Martin, thank you for joining.
It's a real pleasure. Thanks, Isabel. And it's great to be here with Fergus, who's my ex-boss and mentor. We've grown up together, so it's a real pleasure.
Okay, it promises to be a great interview. So, Martin, let's start with you. I think you will agree that AI demand is exploding. What do you think is the role of network connectivity in making this a reality?
So I think, if we look at how the GPU clusters are being built and the distribution of these clusters and how they need to come together for the training models, well then you really got to think about, delivering that data out to those sites. And that takes a lot of fibre and a lot of connectivity. So, the network can be both an inhibitor, but also an enabler. It's very important that, the telecoms companies play a part in the sort of the growth of that traffic and make sure that, they invest in those networks, partnering with Crosslake Fibre, building that infrastructure, putting those investments in the ground to make sure that you can deliver that content to the customers.
Okay. And Fergus, how do you think this is impacting the way that networks need to be built?
Yeah, it's we're in a really exciting phase of the industry. I think as we're seeing, obviously there's a lot of headlines around data center facilities, and generally these large machine learning clusters are off the traditional network footprint that we're all generally used to. So there's a challenge around how connectivity is part of that ecosystem. So certainly from Crosslake are an owner-operator of subsea and terrestrial networks. It's about understanding a client's requirements, partnering with organizations like Ciena and building a solution that's fit for purpose. And this is about understanding scale and also speed to market as well.
Okay. And Martin, AI workloads are becoming more and more distributed.
Yeah.
How are you evolving your solutions to meet that's demanded?
Yeah, so now that you've trained the models, right, and you've got all of that content, you need to deliver to the customer, right? So you need to get it closer to the eyeballs. And again, that's going to take a lot of investment, but also you have considerations around the networks that are there today are not fit for purpose. You look at the ILAs, for example, there isn't enough space and power in them for the swathes of fibre that needs to go in there and the racks and the technology. So Ciena have developed solutions, tailor-made solutions to help drive things like, that space and power down. Our sort of hyper rail solutions, which is enabling you to drive more fibre in a much, much smaller footprint, is really, important in the delivery of that content. And yeah, look, it's kind of working together with us, the hyperscalers and the carrier community to make sure that we sit down and we talk about, well, what's needed for the future? How do we make new services? How do we come up with the right solutions to make sure that we deliver that inferencing content to the edge?
So what about you at Crosslake Fibre? How are you evolving your fibre strategy to meet all these shifts in demand?
Yeah, I think Crosslake has a unique position in the market. We've got a track record and DNA of executing on complex subsea and terrestrial projects. So we're really leaning into the challenges that AI infrastructure organizations need to solve. And that's fundamentally understanding where we own, operate assets, but also where we want to go as an organization in terms of extending our network reach, but also facilitating different opportunities that are close to our network infrastructure and assets, and extending those for particular customer opportunities. And then it's really figuring out, what is the best solution for the particular locations that we're looking to extend to. And a lot of that is driven by somewhat an unknown. I mean, some of the AI clients going into the data center locations are really driving different levels of capacity requirements. And that's really then really leads into the way that we design the solutions, whether that's a full physical build into sites, how many entry points or physical entry points into those locations to deliver the resiliency that the platforms need. And then it's the technology on top of that. And we've done a number of projects with Ciena to kind of fulfill some of those requirements. If it's not a full fiber, dark fiber solution, and the customer wants to offload the management and build a capacity solution, then technologies that Ciena, for example, could deliver of managing fiber optical networks are key in terms of what we can deliver, but also what the client wants as well. And therefore, it's really about partnership, understanding what the challenge is and what the outcomes are really required from those organizations, and then working together to put a solution together that fulfills all of the requirements that we all have within that partnership.
Okay. Very exciting stuff, guys. Thank you for a great interview. 2 experts in the industry and 2 experts on camera. Thank you so much. Let's do this again soon, shall we?
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Isabel. Thanks, Martin.
Thanks, Fergus. Great collaboration. Yeah, thank you.
Everyone, thank you for watching, and until my next hot shot.